Hello students, welcome back to yet another video of mine on the poem in class 3 new pathway textbook, The Rainbow Fairies. Looks interesting, right? The Rainbow Fairies is written by L.M. Hadley. Who's that? L.M. Hadley. Now, just like other poems that we have seen so far, L.M. Hadley also imagines few things and he tries to put his imaginations into the poem. So let's look at it. What are his imaginations? I will run through the poem along with the graphics going behind, and side by side, I'll give you the explanation. And at the end of it, we will together read the poem line by line and enjoy it. So here we go. Let's begin. Two little clouds one summer's day went flying through the sky. So it was a summer's day. In the summer season, two little clouds were flying high in the sky. They went so fast that they bumped their heads and both began to cry. So both started crying. What happens if you bump your heads when you collide with somebody else? You started crying, right? So they also started crying. But what do you exactly mean by clouds bumping and they crying? They exactly started raining. So what happened next? Old father's son looked out and said, "Oh, never mind, my dears." So if your father also watches this happening, bumping head into somebody else, your father must also be saying this. "Oh, never mind, beta. I'm there. That's okay." The same thing the father's son said. "I'll send my little fairy folk to dry your falling tears." Now what he says? "I'll send my fairies," his friends, fairy friends, to dry all the falling tears. One fairy came in violet and one wore indigo. Now the fairies came with their gowns in different colors. One fairy came in violet, the other came in indigo, in blue, green, yellow, orange, red. They made a pretty row. Can you see them? They're forming a row. They wiped the cloud tears all away, and then from out the sky, they upon a line the sunbeams made, they hung their gowns to dry. I'm sorry, I would like to repeat the last two lines again for you. Upon a line the sunbeams made, they hung their gowns to dry. Now they kept their gowns to dry. Now what happens when they are keeping their gowns to dry? They are forming into rainbow colors, isn't it? Can you see that? So rainbow colors are so beautiful. So when you watch them, when the sun and rain both are there, you can see rainbow sometimes. They're so beautiful. They are in Vibgyor colors, right? Violet, indigo, blue, yellow, orange, and red. So putting all these imaginations about rainbow, rain, and sun, L.M. Hadley created this poem. He wrote this poem. Okay, so let's all read together. If you do not understand the poem, you can re-go through the video again and you can play it again and again, watch it. Now let's read it together. Two little clouds one summer's day went flying through the sky. They went so fast they bumped their heads and both began to cry. Again, two little clouds one summer's day went flying through the sky. They went so fast they bumped their heads and both began to cry. Old Father Sun looked out and said, "Oh, never mind, my dears. I'll send my little fairy folk to dry your falling tears." Again, old Father Sun looked out and said, "Oh, never mind, my dears. I'll send my little fairy folk to dry your falling tears." One fairy came in violet and one wore indigo. In blue, green, yellow, orange, red, they made a pretty row. Again, one fairy came in violet and one wore indigo. In blue, green, yellow, orange, red, they made a pretty row. They wiped the cloud tears all away, and then from out the sky, upon a line the sunbeams made, they hung their gowns to dry. Again, they wiped the cloud tears all away, and then from out the sky, upon a line the sunbeams made, they hung their gowns to dry. I hope you will try reading like this again and again. I hope you will enjoy it also. Thank you very much for watching the video. Thank you again.